Hi, I'm Christina, and welcome to our first online yoga class together. The premise for this class is that when we engage our minds, bodies, and spirits in our practice of yoga, we can cultivate a deeper connection with God, ourselves, and others. We'll do this together through poses and me teaching you how to do them in short sequences. Now, I believe that God is a personal God who's the creator of the universe and the still small voice within us. I believe that He wants to journey with us, teach us how to find abundant life, not only in our spirits, but in our minds and our bodies. And so we can do that by praying, by seeking His presence, and by moving and stretching and breathing in the practice of yoga. I've seen the healing and transformational power of a relationship with Jesus in my own life and in the lives of others. And so that's my inspiration for sharing this love with you through yoga. This first practice we'll have together is a morning routine. So I am not a morning person or a routine person. That person is my husband. In fact, one night, as we were getting ready for bed and about to brush our teeth, he walks into the bathroom and tells me, sometimes as I'm getting ready for bed, I just can't wait to wake up in the morning, pour myself a cup of coffee, and do my morning routine. And I say to him, sometimes when I'm waking up in the morning, I just can't wait to get back in bed and go to sleep. So that is just a perfect little anecdote metaphor for our relationship. God gives you the complement to what you already have, the yin to your yang. And so watching Seth these last couple of years and his morning routine has taught me the value of a morning routine. This sequence of yoga, breathing, and a prayer has given me something to look forward to. Let's be honest, it feels good to feel good. So let's get started. The first thing you'll want to do is drink a glass of water, because that really just kind of flushes everything and wakes up your body. And after that, jumping jacks. I know, you're thinking, jumping jacks, that's not yoga. I know it's not yoga, but it gets your blood flowing. So if you prefer to go for a run around the block or do some push-ups and sit-ups, you do you and go for it. But I like jumping jacks because they're mindless. I started with 10, worked my way up to 20, 30, 40, I'm up to 70, hope to get to 100. Not going to do 100 here with you, but you can do 100, so just pause the video and keep going. Once you get your blood flowing and you reach your ideal number of jumping jacks, we'll take a big inhale, exhale, bending at the waist, letting your head reach down towards the ground, and reaching for opposite elbows with your hands. Lining up your heels behind your second and third toe. We'll begin to sway left to right with a little micro bend in your knees. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. Then bending the knees as you shift your weight from one side to the other. All the while tucking your chin in towards your chest as the crown of your head reaches down towards the mat. Really letting your neck and your shoulders, your upper back just hang down as you sway left to right. Excellent. Taking your hands down to the mat, making your way onto all fours. We will line up our hands under our shoulders and our hips over our knees, taking a big inhale with a neutral spine. Exhale, arching up like an angry Halloween cat, spreading those shoulder blades as far apart as they'll go. Inhale, dropping your tummy low like a saddleback-ridden horse, letting the valley be created in between your shoulder blades. Maybe you bend your elbows a little bit to really let that space in between your shoulder blades collapse. If you want to engage your feet, you can tuck those toes. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. We'll move through about 10 of these. Really exaggerating the movement. And then we can kind of begin to wag our tail left and right, looking over opposite shoulders. Stretching out your side body. Making your way back onto all fours. We'll let your neck hang low in the center. Inhale as it swings like a pendulum to one side. Exhale to the other. Inhaling and exhaling as you take ear to shoulder. And then if you feel the freedom and mobility, you can take your neck all the way around. Both directions. Spreading those fingers wide, opening the knees to either side of your mat. Exhaling as you fold down into your child's pose. So we've got our hips reaching down towards our heels. We've got our fingers walking out as far as they can. Walking those fingers out as far as they can. And then the forehead resting on the mat. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. And here we'll take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Maybe say a little prayer. Or ask the Lord what He has to speak to you. Because we believe that the Lord always gives us a new and fresh word. His word, the Bible, of course, is a timeless word for all times. But I believe the Lord also speaks to us to give us timely words every time we ask. I'll pray for us. God, we just thank you for this time that we get to breathe and stretch and move and feel alive. God, we thank you for a new day. We thank you for your grace, your love, and acceptance. Lord, I just ask that you would encourage us, that you would refresh us in mind and body and in spirit. Lord, that you would remind us of the things we have to be grateful for and the things we have to look forward to. In Jesus' name. On your next inhale, we'll float back up onto all fours, spreading those fingers wide, tucking our toes, and gently reaching those sit bones high to the sky as we unfold those knees, straightening the legs, and then lowering the heels down towards the mat, but not all the way down because those sit bones are reaching so high. We're in an upside down V, our very first downward facing dog together. Your gaze is in between your knees or up in between your thighs, whatever feels good on your neck. And we'll begin to pedal our feet, bending one knee and then the other, lowering one heel and then the other, walking our dog as we call it, waking up the backs of the legs, stretching out the calves. Stretching out your calves will also help any foot pain maybe you have. I have struggled with plantar fasciitis, and stretching out your calves will actually help stretch out the arches of your feet too. So if it's wintertime and you've been all bundled up in boots and sneakers, this will help prepare your feet for sandal weather. On your next inhale, we'll float that right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog, pressing the sky away from you with that right foot, spreading those toes, activating all the legs, muscles. Exhale, opening up that knee into that real graceful dog peeing on a fire hydrant look, lowering that right hip down towards your bum, taking little ankle circles, first in one direction and then in the other. And then opening up those knee circles, nice and big, lubricating that hip. It's okay if you hear snap, crackle, pop. That's just your body warming up. No need to judge. Just accept, observe, and accept. That is our motto in yoga. Placing that right foot back down, pressing those sit bones high to the sky, pressing the mat away from your body with those hands, with those fingers spread wide. Next inhale, left leg floats high. Pressing the sky away, spreading those toes. Exhale, opening up the hip, dropping that left foot. Little ankle circles.
Opening it up for even bigger knee circles. Both directions. Doing your best to keep those shoulders squared to the mat. And then planting that left foot back down. Pressing those sit bones high. Lowering the knees slowly on the balls of your feet. See if you can hover those knees above the mat just for a second. And then lowering them all the way down. Making your way onto your sit bones. We'll take the feet out in front of us. Getting to the center of your mat. Rolling onto our back. Taking the right knee up into the chest, relaxing that left leg. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. Hugging that right knee towards the right underarm. Taking your thoughts back to your intention. Our prayer together. Maybe what the Lord is encouraging you in. What He's speaking this morning. Hugging that right knee as close to the right underarm as it can. Relaxing that left hip and left leg so it stretches out, melting into the mat. Next inhale, folding that left knee up, crossing right ankle across left knee. Lifting that left thigh, reaching with your hands around that left thigh, kind of threading the needle with that right hand in between your legs. Hugging that left thigh in towards your chest, flexing your right foot to protect your knee. And breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. If you're looking for something a little more, you can release that right hand and use the right elbow on that right knee, kind of pressing it away from the body. Or you can fold this left knee completely and interlace your fingers on the left shin. Relaxing the space in between your eyebrows. Relaxing your shoulders towards the mat, keeping the back of your neck soft. Wiggling your jaw left to right. And unpretzeling. Releasing that right leg down, hugging the left knee in towards the left underarm. Relaxing that right leg on the mat. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. And you know the reason we breathe in and out through our noses during our yoga practice is because it slows our breath, which slows our heart rate, which relaxes our body. It actually also builds heat in the body through those in through your nose, out through your nose breathing. And the heat helps us to stretch, especially that wonderful dynamic stretching that makes yoga so good. The stretching and strengthening at the same time. On your next inhale, folding that right knee up, crossing the left ankle over right knee, hugging the right thigh in towards the chest. So this pose is kind of like you're reading a newspaper, sitting in a chair, except you are on your back. Flexing that left foot, breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. Yeah, and that whole dynamic stretching thing of yoga, the stretching and strengthening, is totally a metaphor for life. I feel like that's what God takes us through all the time. The stretching and strengthening at the same time. But that's how we get the most out of our practice, both on and off the mat. Maybe you press that left knee away with the left elbow. Maybe you hug the whole right leg in by the shin. And then unpretzeling, taking both of those legs up to the sky, draining the blood out of your feet, back to your vital organs. This is a great posture to take any time of day, especially at the end of the day. And if you're too tired to just hold your legs up, you can put them against the wall. Drains the blood back to your vital organs, once again, relaxing your body. Taking those feet overhead, using the momentum to rock your way up to a seated position. We'll take right foot in front. So right foot stacked in front of your left foot. We'll reach across the body with our left hand. So left hand under the right ankle, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder. Rolling your shoulder blades back, feeling that nice stretch up your arm, down the side of your neck.
And if you're looking for a little something more, you can take this right hand, placing it just above your ear, not pushing your neck, but just resting your hand on your neck. A nice stretch there. And gently release, coming back to a neutral spine. Switching the feet, so left foot comes in front, reaching across the body with the right hand. Under the ankle, sitting up nice and tall. Rolling the shoulder blades back, dropping left ear to left shoulder. And once again, if you'd like to intensify the stretch, you can take that left hand over your head, relaxing it just above your ear. In through your nose, out through your nose. And release. We'll open our arms up wide, big opening up the chest. Giving the world a big morning hug. Welcoming the day. Taking the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers. Opening up the chest once again, little ostrich grip with the hands. Big exhale. Folding at the waist, sending the knuckles high. Rolling the shoulder blades back, resisting the temptation to kind of collapse your shoulders and let them dump forward, but rolling the shoulder blades back. And hey, do not feel bad if your arms are down here, and that is the extent of the mobility this morning. That's totally fine. It's a practice. I have seen some yogis that have the knuckles all the way overhead, touching the floor on the other side. It's a practice. If it feels good to you, you can lower one shoulder and then the other, kind of flossing those shoulder blades. In through your nose, out through your nose, rolling the shoulder blades back. Doing your best to keep those sit bones glued to the mat. On your next inhale, we'll come all the way up. We'll give ourselves a little hug for a counter stretch. Kind of pulling those shoulders in. You're doing great. We'll make our way onto our feet. Taking those feet about hips width apart. Coming into a forward fold. Letting your head, the crown of your head, reach down towards your toes. Maybe spider walking your hands to one side, to the other side. Or maybe just hanging. Shifting your weight to the balls of your feet and your heels, noticing and observing what you feel. Taking an inhale, sliding your hands halfway up on your shins, letting the back of the neck grow long. Exhale, forward fold. With a bend in the knees, we'll scoop the arms all the way up, taking a tiny back bend to the top. And exhaling our hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for sharing your practice with me. I challenge you to make this a part of your morning routine. Maybe you'll become a morning person. So you can watch and join me again. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. Or maybe you just memorize the sequence and do it on your own. I believe in you. Thanks so much for joining me. It was my pleasure. Namaste.